Welcome back to Andy Can Help Live. I'm Andy, and if you caught our last episode about AI augmenting rather than replacing human-led e-commerce transformation, you might be wondering, okay, but where is all this headed? What does the future of e-commerce actually look like, and how do we prepare for it? Today, we're going to explore the next phases of e-commerce evolution. And here's the spoiler. While the technology landscape is shifting dramatically, the need for strategic, human-led digital transformation is only getting more critical, not less. I'm seeing three major trends converging that will reshape how we buy and sell online. The standardization of agentic commerce platforms, the evolution of social commerce into a B2B powerhouse, and the integration of AI that enhances rather than replaces human strategy. But here's what's fascinating, and what many people are missing. These technological advances don't reduce the need for bespoke digital transformation expertise. They actually increase it. The companies that understand the distinction are going to dominate the next decade of commerce. So today, we're going to be looking at what's coming, why human strategy becomes even more valuable in this new landscape, and how agencies and transformation specialists need to evolve their services and help businesses thrive in what I'm calling the agentic e-commerce era. Let me paint a picture of where e-commerce is heading by exploring three major shifts that are already beginning to unfold. Here's the first pillar: agentic commerce and platform standardization. First, we're moving toward what I call agentic commerce, where AI agents can actually conduct transactions on behalf of consumers. Imagine your smart home system automatically reordering household supplies based on usage patterns, or your calendar AI booking and purchasing business travel based on your preferences and budget constraints. A fun little view of this into the future from about 20 years back or so was a movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in called The Sixth Day. It was about cloning, and it was in the future, and they had a smart fridge on there that would actually keep a look at your groceries, and it would automatically order milk and things like that in order to keep your stock up. The infrastructure for this is already being built, and in a lot of instances, it's already there. Shopify is expanding beyond just powering individual stores into creating standardized e-commerce APIs that can integrate with any AI system. Amazon is positioning itself not just as a marketplace, but as a fulfillment and e-commerce backbone that other companies can plug into. Walmart is building similar capabilities, creating what are essentially commerce as a service platforms. But here's the key insight: standardized platforms don't create standardized success. The businesses that will win in this environment are those that understand how to strategically position themselves within these ecosystems, optimize for AI discoverability, and create experiences that stand out even when transactions are handled by agents rather than direct human interaction. The second pillar is social commerce evolution. So, social media platforms are evolving beyond simple shoppable posts. We're seeing the emergence of sophisticated B2B e-commerce capabilities within social platforms. LinkedIn is testing native purchasing for business services. They're also offering freelancing that is a native built-in thing. TikTok is experimenting with supply chain integration for small businesses. Instagram is rolling out advanced inventory management for creators and small brands that basically allow you to run your own shop from right within the social media platform itself. This isn't just about influencers selling products anymore, it's about social platforms becoming full-featured e-commerce engines, specifically designed for small and medium businesses that can't justify building e-commerce infrastructure on their own that can often cost hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year to implement and run. These are just huge amounts of investment that normal folks just can't do. So the way that we compete with this would be through leveraging social commerce like TikTok and Instagram, and using Shopify and these services in order to achieve those economies of scale. And then we have pillar number three, which is large language models as commerce facilitators. LLMs are becoming sophisticated, not just as chatbots, but systems that can understand complex purchasing requirements, negotiating terms, compare options across multiple vendors, and even handle some aspects of customer service and fulfillment coordination. Obviously, the final touch of having a human eye look at things, make sure that everything is correct, is still important at this stage. However, we are getting closer and closer to something where there's going to be less oversight needed by a human. But and this is crucial, these AI systems are still fundamentally tools that execute strategies rather than creating them. They can optimize existing processes pretty well, but they can't envision new business models or understand the nuanced competitive dynamics that determine success in specific markets. That's where we lean on people. Now, here's what these three pillars tie together and create. They're creating a more complex, but not simpler, strategic landscape. Success requires understanding how to position your business across multiple platforms, optimizing for both human and AI driven discovery, and creating differentiated value in an increasingly standardized infrastructure environment. Evening the playing field out with these larger competitors and allowing everybody an even chance to succeed. You might think that as commerce becomes more automated and standardized, the need for human strategic expertise would decrease. But I'm seeing exactly the opposite. And here's why. We have the paradox of standardized infrastructure. When everyone has access to the same powerful platforms and AI tools, competitive advantage doesn't come from the tools themselves. It comes from how strategically you use them. This has just become an arms race where the person who is set at the most advantage would be the one that knows how to use the tools properly. It's like when everyone got access to the internet or mobile phones. The technology became table stakes, and success went to companies that understood how to leverage these tools the most effectively for their specific market and customer base. In the agentic commerce era, every business will have access to the sophisticated AI, powerful platform integrations, and automated fulfillment, and often at less of a cost than it used to just a few years ago. The differentiator becomes strategic positioning, customer understanding, and the ability to create experiences that resonate even when mediated by AI agents. And that's where you can see the layover of people adding in different agencies in order to leverage these AI tools and platforms in order to actually have a competitive advantage. The complexity challenge. These new commerce models are actually creating more complexity, not less. Consider this. Instead of just optimizing one website for one customer journey, businesses now need to optimize for discovery by AI agents, social media, traditional D2C, and Google searches, position effectively within multiple platform ecosystems, create content that works across social commerce channels, and design experiences that feel personal even when transactions are automated. This requires deep strategic thinking about customer psychology, competitive positioning, brand differentiation, and technology integration. AI can help execute these strategies, but it can't really develop them, and it can't really keep them in line and going. And then we have the human connections imperative. Here's something counterintuitive. As commerce becomes more automated, the moments of human connection become more valuable, not less. When most transactions are handled by AI agents, the touch points where customers interact with the actual humans become critical differentiators. So that might mean that when something goes wrong, that's actually going to be the most critical point that you're going to be talking to the customer and making things right and creating loyalty with that customer. This means businesses need to be incredibly strategic about when and how they deploy human interaction. Which customer segments need human support? At what point does the journey need human creativity add most of the value? How do you design automated systems that know when to escalate to human expertise? And then we have the early adopter advantage window. We're in a critical window where early adoption of these new commerce models can create significant competitive advantages. Thinking, just months ahead of getting ahead of for integrations gets you years ahead of the competition. But early adoption without strategic thinking often leads to expensive failures. 95% of AI integrations that are happening right now are failing, according to Google. And a lot of these use cases are from executives trying to rush in and use AI when they don't quite understand its use case and how it can actually bring value. The businesses that will dominate are those that can move quickly while thinking strategically about how these new capabilities can serve their specific customers and market position and actually create that value. This is exactly where human-led digital transformation becomes essential. AI can't evaluate your competitive landscape, understand your customer relationships, or navigate the organizational changes and needed to implement new commerce models successfully. So what does this mean for agencies, consultants, and transformation specialists? The problems we solve are evolving, but the fundamental need for bespoke, strategic expertise is stronger than ever. New service categories are emerging. I'm seeing entirely new categories of transformation work emerging. Agentic commerce strategy, helping businesses position themselves for AI-driven purchasing. Multi-platform commerce architecture, designing integrated experiences across social, traditional e-commerce, and marketplace channels. Human AI experience design, strategically determining where human touchpoints create the most value in increasingly automated customer journeys. And here's one big one I'm particularly excited about: AI digital transformation auditing. Just like how we saw a massive rise in SEO experts and consultants when Web 2.0 took off and businesses realized we needed to be discoverable by search engines, I believe we're going to see a similar explosion in demand for specialists who can audit and optimize business data for LLM accessibility. Think about it. Businesses have decades of customer data, product information, transaction histories, and operational insights locked away in systems that weren't designed to interface with AI. As LLMs become more integral to commerce, companies are going to need experts who can evaluate their data architecture, identify what information needs to be accessible to AI systems, and redesign data flows to support agentic commerce. These aren't just technical implementation projects. They require deep understanding of customer behavior, competitive dynamics, and organizational change management. They're strategic transformation initiatives that happen to leverage cutting-edge technology. The bespoke advantage intensifies. In highly competitive markets with early adoption happening rapidly, generic approaches fail faster than ever. When everyone has access to similar AI tools and platform capabilities, the businesses that win are those with transformation strategies tailored specifically to their unique market position, customer base, and competitive environment. It's not one size fits all. This is actually great news for transformation specialists who believe that their value lies in strategic thinking, not just tool implementation. The businesses that try to implement these new commerce models using cookie-cutter approaches or AI-generated strategies are going to struggle against competitors with thoughtful, human-designed transformation plans, because ultimately, our customers can smell AI a mile off. Cross-functional leadership becomes even more critical for us. Remember our discussion about soft skills and organizational navigation? This becomes even more important in the future commerce landscape. Implementing agentic commerce capabilities requires coordination between IT, marketing, customer service, fulfillment, and often external platform partners. Social commerce integration touches brand management, content creation, customer support, and sales operation. The transformation leaders who succeed will be those who can build consensus across multiple departments, negotiate competing priorities, and maintain strategic coherence across complex multi-platform initiatives. And then we have continuous adaptation as a core service. Finally, the pace of change in commerce technology means the transformation isn't just a one-time project anymore. It's an ongoing capability. The most successful agencies and transformation specialists are shifting towards longer-term strategic partnerships rather than project-based engagements. They understand that change is a continuing element that is always going to be there, that is going to have to be contended with. And it is best to just be in the forefront of their partners' minds as these new technologies are coming down the pipe. So how do businesses prepare for this future? Here are 4 strategic priorities. Priority 1. Develop platform-agnostic strategic thinking. Don't get locked into optimizing for any single platform or technology. Instead, develop strategic frameworks that can adapt across multiple commerce channels and integrate with various AI systems. Focus on understanding your customers deeply enough that you can serve them effectively, regardless of how they prefer to discover and purchase. Your brand should be communicable and understandable and cohesive across wherever you're found online. Priority 2. Invest in strategic transformation expertise. Whether through hiring, partnerships, or consulting relationships, ensure you have access to people who can think strategically about these new commerce models. The businesses that try to navigate this transition without expert guidance are going to waste resources and miss opportunities. And more importantly, since they're going to be repeating this same transformation experience down the road, they're going to be missing out on that insight of what happened before if they don't have these partners in place that are continuing the process. Priority 3. Designing for AI discoverability while maintaining human differentiation. Learning how to optimize your products, services, and brands for discovery by AI agents while simultaneously creating experiences that feel distinctly human when direct interaction happens. This balance is going to be critical for success. It's going to feel most natural and intuitive from our step away from typical traditional web stores and into more of this AI-driven commerce. And then we have priority 4. Build organizational agility for continuous transformation. The future of commerce isn't a destination. It's a continuous evolution, which brings us back to that investing in strategic transformation expertise. Building internal capabilities for ongoing adaptation, whether it's through flexible technology architectures, cross-functional collaboration processes, or partnerships where transformational specialists can guide you through multiple phases of change. The future of e-commerce is exciting, complex, and full of opportunity for businesses that approach it strategically. Agentic commerce, social platform integration, and AI-facilitated transactions are going to reshape how we buy and sell, but they're not going to reduce the need for human strategic expertise. If anything, they're going to make it more valuable. For business leaders, the message is clear. Invest in transformation expertise that can help you navigate this evolving landscape thoughtfully. For agencies and transformation specialists like myself, the opportunities are expanding, but so is the need for deep strategic thinking and cross-functional leadership skills. With the next phase of e-commerce belonging to businesses that combine cutting-edge technology and sophisticated human strategy, that's how we're going to create sustainable competitive advantages in an increasingly automated world. That's our show for today. At Andy Can Help, we believe the future belongs to those who can use technology to amplify human potential. Until next time, keep transforming, keep thinking strategically, and keep putting human insight at the center of your digital future. This episode's music is brought to you by Abnoxix. You can find their music on Spotify and other streaming services by searching ABNOXIX. You can find me on Blue Sky at Andy Can Help, my blog, and more episodes on andycanhelp.com. See you next time.